There's no doubt that data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning are the most trending technologies of today's era. With the availability of various data science tools in the market, implementing artificial intelligence and machine learning has become easier and more scalable. Hi everyone, I'm Zulekha from Edureka, and I welcome you to this session on data science tools. Now, before I get started with the session, please give me a confirmation if I'm audible to all of you. All right, so I see a couple of yeses. Okay. All right, then let's get started with the session. So let's take a look at what we're going to cover in today's session. So we're going to begin this session with a small introduction to data science. Then we'll move on and focus on our topic for the day, which is data science tools. Here we'll understand the different tools for data storage, for data manipulation, exploratory data analysis, and data visualizations. We look at the best tools for data science in each of these categories, right? Also, guys, don't forget to subscribe to Edureka YouTube channel in order to stay updated about the most trending technologies. So let's get started with our first topic, which is a small introduction to data science. Now, what exactly is data science? In simple words, data science is the art of drawing useful insights from data. Right? It's basically the science of studying data so that you can grow your business from data. To be more specific, it is a process of collecting, analyzing, and modeling data to solve real-world problems. Now, guys, the applications of data science vary from fraud detection and disease detection to recommendation engines and whatnot. Right? At the end of the day, data science is used for growing businesses and solving real-world problems. Now, these wide-range applications and increased demand has led to the development of data science tools. Right now, in the upcoming slides, we'll discuss more about the data science tools in the market. But before we go there, it is important that you understand that this session is mainly focused on the different data science tools and not the programming languages that can be used to implement data science. So guys, don't expect there to be a war between which is better for data science. Is it Python or is it R or is it Java, right? I'm not going to talk about the programming languages. I'm going to stick to the different data science tools that are there in the market. So with that being said, let's dive straight into the data science tools. Now, the main feature I would say of these tools is that you don't have to use programming languages in order to implement data science, right? They come with predefined functions, algorithms, and a very user-friendly interface. And they can be used to build any sort of complex machine learning models without the use of programming languages. So a lot of people who are not very well acquainted with R or Python and different coding languages, they prefer to go with data science tools, right? Several startups and tech giants have been working on developing such kind of user-friendly data science tools, right? So guys, to make things easier for you, I'm sure all of you are aware that data science is a very vast process. It involves data collection, data storage, data cleaning, wrangling, exploratory data analysis, then modeling and machine learning implementation, then comes visualization and predictions, right? So it's a very huge process. It is often never enough to use one tool for the entire process. That's why we'll be looking at data science tools used for the different stages in a data science process. So I've categorized the data science tools into four categories. The first category is for data collection, right? So we'll be discussing the tools that are used for data collection. Then there is exploratory data analysis, also known as data analysis or data exploration. Then we have data modeling, which is basically implementing your machine learning algorithms and building a model. Then we have data visualization, right? So we're going to look at the different tools that can be used in each of these stages, right? So to make things easier, I have listed two tools in each of these categories. Let's discuss the different features of these tools and why you should go ahead and use these tools. So first, we're going to start by looking at the data science tools for data storage or data collection. Now, data collection and data storage involves a lot of processes. You don't only have to collect data, you have to store it in such a format that it can be used for EDA or it can be used for analysis. So there are actually a lot of things that you need to consider while you're storing your data and preparing it in such a format that you can process it in a much better way. So for the sake of data collection and data storage, I think the best tool is Apache Hadoop, right? A lot of us are already familiar with the Hadoop framework. So Apache Hadoop is a free open source framework that can manage tons and tons of data, right? It provides something known as distributed computing. So it basically computes massive data sets over a cluster of thousands of computers, right? So it is used for extremely high level computations and data processing. And that's exactly what is needed for data science, right? Since data science involves lots and lots of data, Apache Hadoop is the perfect framework or the perfect tool for data storage and processing. So now let's look at a couple of features of Hadoop. So basically, like I said, it can manage and scale large data sets on thousands of Hadoop clusters. Now, this is something that makes data storage extremely easy because there's not a single storage point. Instead, there are clusters of storage points, right? Another feature is that it uses the Hadoop distributed file system for data storage, which basically distributes massive amounts of data across several nodes for distributed parallel computing. Now, parallel computing is something that is a very advantageous feature when it comes to Hadoop, right? There are thousands of clusters, and each cluster will perform its own processing, data analysis, and all of that. Another feature is that it provides the functionality of other data processing modules such as Hadoop MapReduce, Hadoop Yarn, and so on. Right? So you can integrate this with Hadoop MapReduce and Hadoop Yarn. Now, all of these come under the framework of data management, right? So Hadoop distributed file system and the entire framework itself is mainly used for data management, data processing, and data storage. Right, so this is exactly why I think Apache Hadoop is one of the best tools in the market for data storage and data processing. Now, another tool that I'd like to talk about for data storage is Microsoft's HD Insight, right? So this Azure HD Insight is basically a cloud platform which is provided by Microsoft for the main purpose of data storage, processing, and analytics. So there are a lot of enterprises and a lot of companies that are actually using this tool, right? It includes Hadoop, Jet, Milliman. All of these use the Azure HD Insights to process and in order to manage massive amounts of data, right? Let's discuss a couple of features of HD Insights. Now, one thing that I found really interesting about the Azure HD Insights is that it provides full-fledged support to integrate with Apache Hadoop and Spark clusters for data processing. Again, now this is fully integrated with Hadoop, so you can perform much better data processing, right? Another important point is that Windows Azure Blob is actually the default storage system for this particular tool, and it can effectively manage the most sensitive data across thousands of nodes. Again, HD Insights makes it extremely easy for you to scale vast amount of data, right? And that's where data science comes in, because data science involves tons and tons of data and you have to process all of this data continuously. So it's best to have clusters of or clusters or nodes wherein you can parallelly compute and distribute all of this data, right? Also, another important feature is that it provides something known as the Microsoft R server, which supports your enterprise scale R, right? It basically supports R programming in order to perform statistical analysis and building any strong machine learning models. So those of you who are well known with data science or well aware of data science know that R is one of the most important languages in data science, right? It's used mainly for statistical purposes, and it is used for building machine learning models and performing data analysis and so on. So the Microsoft Azure HD Insights actually provides support for this programming language, which is really good for developers who are shifting from their programming languages to the data science tools, right? They already have a good experience with both of them. Now let's look at the different data science tools for exploratory data analysis. Now guys, remember that EDA, also known as data exploration, is actually one of the most important stages in a data science process, right? This is where you try and derive all the useful insights from data. So after you're done cleaning and processing your data, you need to understand which variable or which part of your data is really important, right? That's why you perform EDA. And for this, let's look at two important tools. So the first tool is by Informatica. It is known as Power Center. Now, I don't have to introduce Informatica. I'm sure all of you have heard of Informatica, right? The buzz around Informatica is explained by the fact that their revenue has rounded off to around $1.05 billion. Informatica has many products which are focused on data integration, but I think the best product that they have on data integration is Power Center, right? Let's understand the different features of Power Center. So Power Center, like I said, is a data integration tool which is based on the ETL architecture. So for those of you who don't know what the ETL architecture is, it is basically stands for extract, transform, and load. So it's all about extracting your data, transforming it into a processable format, and then loading it and building a model that will finally solve a problem or that will help in grow a business. Right? That's the whole process of ETL. So guys, ETL architecture is something that's used by a lot of businesses in order to perform data science. So with that being said, the Informatica Power Center, it helps in extracting data from different sources. It then transforms and processes it in accordance with all your business requirements, and it'll finally load or deploy this data into a warehouse. Okay, all of this is performed by the tool itself. Apart from that, it also provides support for distributed processing, grid computing, adaptive load balancing, dynamic partitioning, and push-down optimization. Now, all of these are too in-depth technical terms, but this support just shows that Informatica is one of the best companies, or you can say the Power Center is the best platform that you can use for EDA because it studies data in a very detailed manner, right? It goes in depth, it tries to understand every possible correlation that is there in your data set, right? So I think one of the best tools for EDA is Informatica Power Center. Now let's move on and discuss another tool that I have in mind. It's known as RapidMiner. Now, there's no surprise that RapidMiner is one of the most popular tools for implementing data science. RapidMiner was actually ranked at number 1 in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for Data Science Platform in 2017 and in the Forrester Wave for Predictive Analytics and Machine Learning. It has been the top performer in such competitions, and it is also one of the top performers in the G2 Crowd Predictive Analytics grid, right? So it has a very strong reputation of being one of the best and the most effective EDA tools in the market. So some of the features of it include that it is a single platform that can be used